Thing about faith that nobody talks about. God didn't make me to be mediocre or average. That God is working. I just knew it was God's doing. I booked a flight to the Bahamas with no money. That is so intentional. And welcome to my life. Hi guys. It's been a minute since I did one of these videos. It's been like a year? Yeah, I think it's been a year. I kind of strayed away from YouTube. Now I'm back and I'm getting back into the cycle of things. So much has happened since then. So I just have a lot to share with you guys. And so here I am. So if you're new, hello, welcome. My name is Olivia Gwyan. Here on my channel, we're gonna have faith, we're gonna have vlogs, we're gonna have beauty, we're gonna have lifestyle. Okay, we got a little bit of everything. For today's video, we finna talk about faith. So have a seat, hit that subscribe button, and welcome to my life. Since it's been a while, I just wanna talk about today. God has been doing so many great things in my life that if I start back in January, we're gonna be here forever. We're gonna be here forever. I want to start with today and what God has been doing in my life solely today. So today I woke up and I'm gonna be honest, for about 2 to 3 days I've been having this leading to watch this video on YouTube by Queen Billy. I'm gonna put a picture right here and I'm also gonna link in the description below. Today, after I did my worship and devotion, I was getting in my car and I said, okay, my ride to work is about 15 minutes. I'm gonna watch it because God really been pulling on my heart to watch this video. So it's something in this video I need to receive. So as I was going to get in my car, I stopped by the fridge and I grabbed a bottle of water. And normally I don't take a bottle of water to work. I just take my empty bottle because there's water at work. I have a fountain thing that I can fill my water bottle up. Today it was just a little bit different. So I grabbed the water bottle and I just got in my car. Now I'm playing the video and a few minutes in the video, I'm driving on the highway and she's like, grab a water bottle so I can bless it. And I literally my mouth fell on the ground because I was like, God is so intentional. God is so intentional. I never grab a water bottle and take it to work. Like literally never. But because God knew I was going to watch this video today, he told me to grab that water bottle so that I can receive the deliverance. And as she's like speaking and I'm drinking the water, I'm like yawning. And I just feel this like weight lifted off of me. And I'm like God wanted me to receive this. And I literally just could not stop smiling and cheesing because I was like, wow, God is just so intentional. And as she's like praying and speaking against a whole bunch of spirits, I'm like yawning uncontrollably. And she's like, close your eyes, but I'm driving. So I'm like trying to close my eyes. But I'm like, this is not safe. God, let me just keep my eyes open and still receive. And after watching that video, I just felt so cleansed. And just a weight was lifted off me because I just been feeling like I was under attack. And last week I just felt like heavy, and after watching that video, and I see why God wanted me to watch it, and it did take me a minute to watch it, and it took me like 2-3 days to finally watch it. Sorry God. But see why he was really pulling on me to watch that video. And the fact that it was just so intentional, the way I grabbed the water and I got in my car and I was listening to it as I was going to work, it was just so powerful. I highly recommend you guys watch that video. It's only 15 minutes, but that's just a big testimony for me because I just felt like I've been under spiritual attack these past couple weeks, and that video really just moved everything. To get into the tea for the day, thing about faith that nobody talks about. There's so much that's been going on in my life since I've entered 2023. I started 2023 as a college graduate. I graduated from college December 17th. Back in January when 2023 started, I had just graduated. I was getting settled back into my home, and I just had this faith that I can't even explain to you guys. But I'm gonna try my best. I graduated college and I didn't have a job set up. I was applying to jobs here and there. I had some hopes that I was gonna have a job by talking to a few recruitment agencies and stuff like that, but there was nothing like rock solid in place. So in January, I just felt like I had this faith that was just like crazy. I just knew everything was gonna work out, and I felt like I was in perfect alignment of everything that God had called me to do. And it showed in who I was and what I was doing. And I just had this light about me, like this glow about me. If you follow me on Daily Dose of OG, where I basically share my journey and I share my testimonies on there, I share what God's doing in my life on there. I'm gonna have it somewhere on the screen. Then you probably already know this story. But from January all the way to April, I was unemployed. Like, I was applying. I made a goal to apply to 30 jobs a month. I was actively applying to places. And if you know, the job market right now is trash, garbage. I was really holding on to faith and holding on to what I knew God was gonna do, because like January, February, I was receiving visions like crazy. And I am someone that receives a lot of visions, but I've never felt it so intensely. It's always, when I receive a vision, it's always something that I have to ask for confirmation. Like, God, was that you? Or am I just seeing things? Like, am I just visualizing this? Am I making this up? But these visions were so like specific that I couldn't even question it if I wanted to. Like, it was just, I just knew it was God. I just knew I would get a job, but there was no proof of this. It was definitely walking by faith and not by sight, because nothing that I was doing for my day-to-day life was showing that I was going to get a job. Like, everything was saying, you're not gonna get it. Like, everything was saying that I wasn't gonna get it. God had provided for me in ways that I never even imagined. I got my first biggest brand deal from a makeup company that is currently in Walmart. And they gave me about create a 30-second video, something that I've heard other content creators talk about, but I never experienced it in that amount of money. And it was like so perfectly aligned. It was at the right timing when I needed it. I just knew it was God's doing. It was so crazy because at that time I was thinking like, bro, like if I don't get a job soon, how am I gonna make it through? Like, I was literally pleading with God and crying out to God, how am I going to do this? I remember there was a song playing, Gyra was playing at this time. And although I've heard this song since I was young, it was something that was just so intentional about that song playing in that moment. And I felt like oftentimes we get so used to certain words, like, yeah, God he's Gyra, he's Alpha and Omega, he's the beginning and the end. And it's like we're just saying this and we say it so much that it becomes a cliche. And we forget the power behind these words. So as I'm singing the song, I'm thinking Gyra. So I start to intentionally listen to the song. And as I'm listening to the song, they're saying Gyra, he's our provider. And it's almost like something clicked in me. I was hearing God say, I will provide for you. Like, that's who I am. And I just started bawling out, crying. At this time, it had been like 3 months, no job. And I was doing interviews. I probably did like 12-ish interviews. Some jobs I had like 3 to 4 interview processes. Some of them went to 5, 6 interview processes. And if you know anything about like graduating school and going through interviews, it's supposed to be 3 max. It's supposed to be 3 max for interviews. And I'm like 4 or 5 in, and I'm like, am I ever going to get the job? You know, doubt definitely creeped in, and I started to say, like, God, I know you showed me these visions and you said everything's gonna work out and you're going to provide, but in this moment everything looks like it's going against that. And I said to God, I said, when am I gonna get the life in abundance that you promised me? And as I said that, I received more visions that just confirmed everything that God had told me. Even in the midst of having so much faith in the start of January, even into February, by March, I started panicking. January, I was so on fire. I just remembered that God kept telling me that this year was going to be a new dimension, that it was a new level, that it was a new season. And I had to keep reminding myself. And the crazy thing about me having faith back in January is that I thought that faith was, I was like, yeah, I'm on fire. Like, this ain't going nowhere. And the crazy thing is, people don't tell you what to do when you was on fire and now doubt is creeping in. I'm like, oh, I have faith, believe in God. Okay, I have faith, I believed in God, and now the enemy is creeping in. So what do I do here? But I got y'all. I was crying out to God in March, and I was like, I really need you to strengthen my faith. And that's literally what you got to do. Like, if you feel doubt creeping in, you got to grab hold of your faith and you got to remember everything that God told. I had to literally go back in my prayer journal. And this is why I always tell people I highly recommend having a prayer journal, because there's so many prayers that I forget that I know God never forgets. So I need to write them down so that I have something to go back on and be like, yeah, I told God this and he did it. And he did that, and he did that, and he did that. So I went back to my prayer journal and I just started reading all my prayers. And I saw that God was literally moving and working. April hit and I literally got the job. At this time, I'm still like, God, I want the job that you want me to have. So if this is not the job, I'll need you to tell me ASAP. I did not get that confirmation right there, right then. That's the crazy thing about faith. You thought you was going to get the answers? No. I didn't get the answer right there and right then about my job. And I said, about God, like, I really need you to tell me if this is a job that you want me to have before I accept. I never got the answer. The crazy thing about faith is sometimes you have to move in order for God to respond. With me just being in my room and I'm waiting on God, I wasn't getting my answer. Sometimes I think if I make the wrong decision, if I make the wrong move, that whatever plan God has for my life is dismantled. I just destroyed it. But God has more power than I could ever have. Don't you think he planned for even my mistakes? Now he calculated that even if Olivia makes a mistake, she will still reach her destination. So I accepted the job offer with no car. And the reason I was so hell-bent on my faith between the months of January and February, because January and March, is because during this time, I booked a flight to the Bahamas, which you guys saw the vlog. If you didn't, go check it out. But you guys saw the Bahama vlog. During that time, I booked a flight to the Bahamas with no money. Like, if that's not faith, then I don't know what it is. Because who told me I was going to the Bahamas if I didn't even have a job? So it's like, bro, I really had the faith back then to believe. But now that things were getting rocky, I was questioning everything that God told me. He didn't even tell me. He showed me. I seen it with my eyes. And now I was questioning it. I got the job and I had no vehicle. Mind you, I need a vehicle to get to the job. I need a vehicle. After God had reassured me that everything would work out, I knew I was going to get that car. Did I know when? Did I know it was going to be in time for me to start my job, which was starting in like 2-3 weeks? No. But I knew God was going to make a way. And I ended up getting my car. The car that I'm in now. And when I tell you, this car is so anointed. This car is so anointed because God gave it to me himself. God gave me this car himself. And again, if you follow my daily dose of OG, you already know that story. But it just shows how intentional God has been with me. And then we have today. The last couple of weeks, I said I've been going through spiritual attacks in the beginning of this video. And a lot of things have been heavy. I'm entering a new season, a new level, a new dimension. And I know that, but I've been so heavy that I can't even enjoy entering a new level because there's so many things that I've been going through spiritually. Like Friday, I came home from work and there was this heavy thunderstorm. And I was just in my room worshiping, praying, crying out to God. And after that, I just felt so weak. It was like all I wanted to do to go to sleep. And it was a Friday. Normally I can stay up late on a Friday. But I was out. 10 o'clock, gone. I was like, yeah, that was too much. And nobody was home, so I was giving it my all. I needed to release, and it felt so good. I say that because today I was on TikTok. And TikTok be catching me off guard sometimes because, it's a hit or miss. Especially when it comes to the Christian content, it's a hit or miss. But this pastor was preaching. I don't know his name, but if I see his video, I'll put him on the screen. The first thing he said is August, which is the number 8, represents new beginning. And one thing about me, I could listen to pastors and preachers all day, but I'm going to always check in with God. One of the gifts God gave me is the gift to research. So I went on Google and I just type in biblical meaning 8. I put the screenshot there because this is what I saw. And it talks about the verse in Genesis where God creates the earth. And then it says, and on the 8th day, humanity began. And that was my confirmation that 8 represents the new beginning. Today is the first day of August, the 8th month. And I will be moving this month. And I've been really crying out to God, like, God, I need you to provide, because this move means more responsibility. Like, I need you to provide for me in this new season. And I was like crying out to him, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know, but I know you're pushing me to move. You're pushing me to put action behind my faith. And this is an act of stepping out on my faith. Because I don't know how this is going to plan out. I don't know what I'm doing. But if you're leading me to do it, I'm going to do it. So when I saw that TikTok that said 8 is for a new beginning, and I was like, wow, God intentionally planned for me to move at this time, because this move represents a new beginning, a new level, a new dimension. It's a whole new era, a transformation that he's been preparing me for. And then I was also, at the same time, I was talking to God about, you know, more responsibility, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. I was crying out to him about, like, my job. I'm about to be 3 months, and I felt like I don't know what I'm doing. As I saw that TikTok video, and I'm like, wait, August 8th? I started my job May 8th, representing a new beginning, a new dimension, a new era for Olivia. On August, the 8th month, on the 8th day, I would officially be 3 months at my job. It was just confirmation to everything that I prayed to God for, because I was like, God, I know you didn't place me in this job for no reason. Like, you knew I have the ability and I have the power to be phenomenal in what I do. God didn't make me to be mediocre or average. Like, he knew I would be great. And it was just confirmation to all the things I was talking to him about. The eighth month, on the 8th day, I officially become 3 months at my job. And that was my confirmation that God was going to do great things. And I remember one time I was driving to work, and he said, I am just beginning to show you my good hand. And I was reminded of that message. Even though I didn't write it down that day, I was reminded of that message in that moment when I was watching that TikTok. 8. I become 3 months. And he reminded me that he's just beginning to show me his good hand. I was about to ball out and cry. I'm trying to cry now. I was just so stunned and amazed at God. This whole time, and I'm like, God, what are you doing? Like, he was behind closed doors, moving on my behalf, making sure everything was working according to my good, that everything would align me to the calling and destiny that he placed in me. I just could say, all I had to say was, wow. Wow. Because the way God is so intentional with us is crazy. And the goodness of God didn't even end there. As I'm like, I have to write this down now because I have to do a video. I have to share this. It's been so long since I did a testimony Tuesday, and I need to share what God has been doing in my life. As I'm typing it in my messages, because I'm texting myself, I went to the bathroom because I was at work, and I'm texting. As I sit down, I realize, because I have one AirPod in, I realize Gyra starts playing. Gyra starts playing as I'm texting all this to myself so I don't forget. Gyra starts playing. And I was like, wow. God is so intentional, because I promise you, I didn't click nothing on my phone randomly. And my AirPod was always in my ear, because you know how sometimes when you first put your AirPods in your ear, like music should start playing. My AirPod had been in my ear since I entered work. Like that one AirPod. And out of nowhere, Gyra just starts playing as I'm typing it. And I'm just like, wow. God is just sending me signs, letting me know that this new level, this new dimension, this new season of my life, he's going to provide. And I don't need to worry about anything, because he's going to make a way. And as Gyra was playing, I was just reminded of that faith I had back in January, that where I book a flight to the Bahamas with no money. With no money. And I was like, God, I want that faith again. Because why was I just here forgetting all that you've done for me? I could make this video longer than it has to be, but it's even the way I see God providing for me. I've seen him move in the people around me, my family, and I don't want to cry right now, but I just be like, wow. Because you think you're being spiritually attacked, that you in this all alone. Like, that God is working. You forget that God is moving. You question, why is this battle so hard? And God's just been reminding me that it's not just for you, but it's for everyone connected. It's for the generations that come after you. And I just remember last week just feeling so heavy. It's only Tuesday and God has already made my week 10 times better. So I just want to come on here and share that with y'all. I didn't mean to ugly cry. I just want to come on here and share that with y'all because I just see God doing some great things in the lives of the people around me and in my life. And I'm definitely starting Testimony Tuesdays up, even if I have to do it on my lunch break. Definitely starting up again. But thank you for whoever watched, even to the point where I ugly cried. Thank you for whoever took the time to watch this video. I pray that God will begin to do something new in your life. That everyone under the sound of my voice, that God will begin to do something new. It might require you to step out on faith. It might require a season of confusion because you don't know where you're going or what you're doing, but you just got this faith in you that you just know God gonna provide. You just know God gonna show up. You just know he gonna show up and he gonna show out. May God do something new that's far behind something that you can't even imagine. In the name of Jesus, amen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. That one won't have no crying in it. It won't have no crying in it, I promise.
Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find her image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind,